And good evening. Welcome into episode number 20. And tonight, not sure whether Craig's going to be able to get on tonight or not. I hadn't heard back from him yet. And so we're going to roll on for right now. And if he's able to jump on and he'll join in with us, um, as we always do. Uh, Jeff, let's start out with how was your week?
It was good. Anybody in education knows that the week after Christmas is a readjustment. So being an educator, we have to go through that phase, and I know you know about that
Oh
too.
yeah.
Being working in a school, so
Well, I have learned with the school system, um, you know, whether you're a teacher, administrator, an SRO, or whoever, here are the two times that you don't look forward to. Okay, that is when you're just about to go onto a break,
hmm
and when you come back off of a break. Those two now, I mean, it's just, you know, because Lord knows, especially in elementary school, it's like you're having to train kids all over again on how to walk down the hall,
and
So
it's
yeah.
no different with the upper grades. I've worked in high school, middle school. It is no different. You have to you're constantly training and re reestablishing those routines.
Well, and the funny part is, it's not just the kids. Keep in mind that I have to work the traffic in the mornings and the afternoons, and Tuesday morning when we came back, I wasn't able to put the cones out like I normally do, because with some stuff that had going on, and of course we had one vehicle coming down the inside. I'm like, you've been doing this since August, since
90 days of it. 90 days.
so. But I will say this: it was a great week. I was happy to see the kids back, and you they were happy to see me, which is a good thing. That's always a good thing. So, um, but yeah, I always look forward to those times. So,
Uh,
well, as everybody can tell, the Dabo is not going to use the portal, and Dabo refuses to use the portal, and we're gonna get left behind because that guess what, y'all? It's over. That time and that excuse that well, I don't know if you'd call it an excuse, but that um that theory kind of got thrown out the window last year, and if you didn't believe it last year, oh, it is definitely been thrown out the window this year. So,
we're up to 10 now.
yep, we got number 10 this afternoon. Um, and I figured we'd go through. I've got the list 1 through 10, like I told you earlier. Haven't done a lot of research on them, but y- overall, I truly believe that, especially Tom Allen.
Yeah.
Tom Allen, he plugged a lot of holes that people were concerned about, when the Pinstripe Bowl was over. So, but like, all right, number one, and I don't know whether this list is, yeah, I'm gonna take it. This list that was sent to me was in order of when they came in. Like I haven't wrote that.
Mhm.
The first one they've got is cornerback Elliott Washington second from Penn State. Um, I've heard good things. I mean, what have you heard?
Well, I think he was a freshman the year they made the run to the playoffs. There with Penn State and Tom Allen, and I think he saw some playing time as a freshman.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's definitely familiarity, and if you're at a power program like Penn State,
yeah,
you got some talent. So
exactly.
that may be a good, if nothing else, a good depth piece. Maybe
Hmm.
the other corner to go with Hampton. I guess those things will shake out spring
That's right.
practice, fall camp. I mean,
Yep.
but adding numbers there is certainly I think a help losing
Oh yeah.
Terrell and the other corner.
Well, and that was going to be the one spot that I felt like we were going to hit strongly anyway.
Mhm.
And I was looking at this thing, got one, two, three, It's like three deep. Wait a minute, hold on. I don't want to tell you wrong. One, two, three. Yeah, three defensive backs.
Yeah.
So far, one safety. Um, but there again, I did a lot of times people like to throw them all into the, you know what I'm saying, as far
Mhm.
as backfield, and I can see that too. But look, you got like I say, Elliott Washington the second, then you got Donovan Starr from Auburn
Yeah.
and Corey Myrick from Southern Miss. I mean, I don't see where you can really go wrong with any of those three. Um, as far as what I've seen so far of them. So,
No,
um,
I think they'll all be helpful. And
yeah,
Fred, if you go back and you look after the Duke and SMU games, um, we weren't going too much lower as far as our ability to stop big plays and cover the pass. So,
no.
I mean, it might be a situation where we don't get much better, but I don't see us going any further down.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed to me to be that we were going to go sideways or up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I,
that's a good way to put it.
you know, um, and then you got safety Jerome Carter the second from Old Dominion. I tell you what I've enjoyed watch or I've had a bunch of um, laughs watching, you know, these our fans. Okay,
Mhm.
people in our fan base talking about, oh my gosh, we went after that kid and he doesn't even play at Alabama. He doesn't play at LSU or and I'm thinking to myself, you must not have watched the quarterback from Ole Miss. I mean, where did he play last year? You know, uh,
He was
and
pretty good this year, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah. I mean, went from winning an FCS championship, to the big boy league and played pretty well.
Yeah.
Got to give it to him. And that's the thing. I mean, especially when it comes to portal players, you know. So maybe we wouldn't have recruited, the kid. CJ Wesley that went to Howard. Okay, maybe
Right.
we wouldn't have recruited him, but seems like he's done pretty good where he was at. And I'm gonna say, that'd be a good piece, especially at defensive end where we need some bodies to back some people up anyway.
Well,
You know,
he probably fit a need. I
hmm
see him, just looking. I saw a clip of his tape, and
yeah,
he's got some athleticism,
hmm
explosion. That's one thing Tom Allen said that he wanted with this
yeah,
defense. That it
yeah.
had to get faster. Kids like that will make the defense faster if nothing else. And I don't think he's going to be a 40 snap a game
No,
guy, but
no.
you put him in the right package and turn him loose to go rush the passer, sort of like Lawson this past year.
hmm
That's pretty
Well,
decent
and
with
that's
Lawson and him and
that's
a
right.
couple of others. That's pretty decent.
And that you pointed out something a minute ago. Everybody I've talked to so far seems to think he's going to be a pass rush specialist.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, I, again, we needed bodies to back the people up we've got, and that's what we needed. So,
Mhm.
um, then
But
you got all right. You got defensive tackles. You've got Courtney Kelly from West Georgia and Marcus Strong from Oklahoma. And I do believe that you're going to get more out of Mark. I believe you'll get more snaps out of Marcus Strong than you're going to out of
yeah,
Kelly. That's my feeling on it. It's kind of similar to what we've talked about already. Um, I don't believe that with the holes we've had to fill that you know anybody on this list was going to be a bad pick. So, um, and then of course the last one, but not least, now is the running back signed today from SMU, Chris
yeah.
Johnson. Um, I honestly was kind of shocked that we actually went after a running back. But hey, that I already felt like that stable was strong. and I feel like it's even stronger now than it was before.
Well,
Um,
and I'm like you there, Freddie. The word that I everything that I had seen kind of led to, if it was going to be offense, that it would be hitting a lineman or two.
yep,
I hadn't seen a whole lot from running back until Johnson was visiting, and of course, you don't always necessarily look for somebody who's going to be the bell cow. You've got
that's right.
limited dollars to go around, and you got to be wise with how you use those dollars. But if you can find somebody like Johnson that maybe has a skill set that's not as strong in the running back room, it's definitely a good take.
Now, on three may have DJ Lagway back at our on our campus sometime today or tomorrow. Who knows? I mean, they seem to report what they want to report, even if it isn't right. I mean, I don't know, man.
Well, I think he's committed about 5 places and going to play with 3 teams at one time next year.
Yeah,
From
yeah. I
some of the
mean,
reports I've seen.
that was kind of funny, especially whenever he tweeted out or replied to the tweet said, "I don't know where this came from, but I've been committed to Baylor since yesterday or since last night." I'm like, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
but
that's all over the map. And that's
yeah,
I thought I saw your title about with chaos in it, calm in the chaos.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely,
But
it's chaotic.
and that's what it feels like. It feels like it is a chaotic time, as we all know.
Mhm.
Okay, but it still feels like that Dabo and the coaching staff has a. It's kind of like they've got a calm in the middle of it. Is that if that makes
Yeah,
sense?
that does.
You know, I, I've been impressed with how they've handled a lot of stuff. Especially with the portal. Um, and since he refuses to use it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's been very well used. So, um, but hey, now tell me this: the ones that I've listed, or the ones I've given you off the list,
Hmm.
who would be your number one? Who would be, um,
Who am I looking most forward
yeah,
to seeing?
yeah, yeah,
Freddie, I think it's one that I don't think you called his name, and right now his name escapes me, but it's the linebacker from Cal, the
yep,
rookie of the
Luke
year.
Farrelly.
Yeah, Farrelly.
Yep,
Yeah,
I apologize. I did overlook him. I tell you another one I overlooked too. I believe is London Merritt,
yeah,
defensive end.
that's the kid from Colorado, the
Yep, that's the
DN,
kid from
right?
Colorado. Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Um, y- y- the Farrelly kid with Woodaz leaving, I think
yeah,
pairing with Sammy Brown and then Alexander. Linebacker room took a hit this past year, but you keep adding a piece or two like that, and
yeah,
that could turn out to be a right stout unit, especially when you take those two guys, Brown and Borelli, and put them as your frontline guys, and then
mhm.
those other pieces that could end up being a good unit for us.
Well, and I'm glad you said that because he is one that I'm looking forward to seeing,
Hmm.
and plugging him in there with those guys with that locker room or that linebacker group. But I am also looking forward after looking at some of the stuff I saw today for Chris Johnson, man,
Yeah.
because we've been hearing about how there possibility of Davidson and Easy being that next thunder and lightning, like
Hmm.
um, and I don't know, I feel like right now it could be Gideon Davidson and Chris Johnson
Yeah.
that you could see that more out of. Like we talked about off the air before we got on here, it seems like like you said, the Easy and Davidson have um, a different set of skills
Hmm.
than Chris Johnson does, and um, I don't think either one of those is going to win a track meet. In other
Right.
words, but Chris Johnson might compete for one.
Oh yeah.
So um, I'm looking forward to seeing what we look like in the spring to start with, and then I'll be honest with you, I don't feel too uncomfortable going into the fall camp right now, and just think. we still got a few more days of the portal left.
Yeah. Um,
So could be interesting.
well,
So
I'm hoping in these last few days we can find one or two pieces to go up front. I think I think with the lack of experience we have coming back there, we might be talented. And I know I want to say I saw a tweet from Chad Morris about the O line and not being as concerned as some folks that are out there. But you're relying a lot on development, and that
yeah.
doesn't always come through. So having if we could get us a proven piece or two to go in there, that would make me feel a whole lot better going into the spring
Yeah.
and then the fall.
All right. So what you said, you brought up Chad Morris, so I'm gonna throw this one out there. What are your thoughts on how do you feel about the fact that he's pretty much come out and said that we didn't need a quarterback and
Mhm.
doesn't look like they're going after a quarterback. So
Again, a little concerned. I really would have liked to seen with the struggles we had at quarterback at times. I would like to have seen a little more from Vizena
mhm.
uh, in his one opportunity against SMU. I thought after they kind of took the reins off of him a little bit, he did not do a bad job.
Yeah.
But I still would have liked to have seen more. That's the most important position on the field, and it's a question mark. There ain't any doubt about it going into the year.
Well, and you know, I'll say this. I feel the same way there. I also am hoping, and I'm gonna jump over to a little bit. I'm hoping that some lessons have been learned with the running backs, and we have a better rotation there.
Yeah,
It's right because, like you said just now, you'd like to have seen more. Vizina get more chances. I'd like to have seen that. I also would have liked to have seen us, get our running. In other words, we need to get away from the fact or the position that we've been in the last 2 years where if our running back number one goes down, running back number two may not be able to make the plays because he hadn't had any time in there.
exactly. That
Um,
was especially the case with Maffa the year
yep,
before and what we took to Texas.
yes,
Could have been a different game if we had developed some folks there a little
yep.
more throughout the year. So, yeah, definitely.
And I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see because I'm not going to say that Tate Reynolds ain't gonna push some people for
Yeah.
some playing time himself. Um, maybe we're looking a little too much at Vizina and Denson, and not as much at which now, like somebody else pointed out, Tate Reynolds did miss most of the year this year with an injury.
Hmm.
But it's going to be interesting to see how those things unfold there. Um, Defensively, I feel pretty good about. Um, you know, I, I've had several people that have told me I can't believe that we kept who Tom Allen. Why? Because he didn't do it. I mean, I'm like, did you not see our rush defense from last year to this year?
Yeah.
I mean, going into the Pinstripe Bowl, if I know it was top 25, it may have been higher than that. I'm thinking top 15
Yeah.
is rush defense going into that game. Um, Now, of course, people, yeah, but look, I don't count that game just simply because the defense that got us to top 15 was the players weren't playing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, he corrected some things on the running game part of it. Now it looks like to me from the list that he's working on the passing game part of it, and you know, I think it should be
Yeah.
pretty good.
There was a marked improvement
Yeah,
uh, passing game wise. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was better. Certainly after Duke and SMU, um, and a lot of people attribute that to communication issues being fixed and or improved upon. Um, and I'm hoping that year two will bring us a little more another jump and
yeah,
improvement. If he could turn this defense into what a top 35, top 25
yeah,
defense, the, you're going to see, instead of us fighting to get to 8 wins, we're pushing that 10-win
That's right.
barometer.
Yep.
So I think that's the a place that we can make a big jump going into next year, and hopefully Chad Morris will have the same effect that he this year that he did about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and turn the offense into a good group too.
Well, it was pointed out to me the other day, and if it's incorrect, then and I'm just going by what was mentioned to me. There's a possibility that he has said that he would forego a buyout if he couldn't get our offense in the top 20 by year 3. Look at that. That tells me right there that he's wanting to get it done, because I don't know anybody that wants to give up a buyout.
No. And Freddie, speaking of that, just looking at his contract, I want to say I saw some stuff on his contract Monday or Tuesday of this week. Seemed to be very, very heavy on incentives.
Yes,
which I am certainly okay with. You roll those incentives out, and if he hits those incentives, those will be happier checks to write, as opposed to not hitting them and then writing buyout checks.
I was watching a game last weekend, an NFL game, okay, and this one player, they brought him back in so that he could, and he ended up catching the number of passes he needed to catch to get his get his extra check. And I'm thinking to myself, they very easily could have held him out and there's nothing he could have done about it. And they were talking about that. That's what the announcers were talking about. But he ended up getting it and blah, blah, blah. But I'm thinking to myself, it's the difference. And if we get to where he's wanting to get to, they're not going to hold back on on incentive. They're going to want to pay him for that. So, yeah.
Those types of checks are win-win across the board.
Oh yeah. That's exactly what you want to see, that, because that means that you're trending upwards, as the kids like to say.
Yes.
I learned all kinds of new stuff with this and stuff like that. I told you earlier when we first came into the studio tonight, and I have not heard it since. Evidently, it was the TikTok thing that I had pulled up where I was trying to figure out about going live. We're trying to get it to where we can go live on TikTok, as well as how we are on Facebook and on YouTube. So we're trying to get a little more hip, man.
Hey, get on all those platforms.
I'm telling you,
nothing wrong with that.
It's rough whenever you got old people trying to do young people stuff, but that's all I can say. That's all I can say. And well, let's touch a little bit on another great win by the basketball team. They got a lead yesterday and pretty much, battled it out all the way to the end. I mean, and trust me, Notre Dame's no slouch. So, and keep in mind now, I did not see where the coach wanted to fight anybody yesterday. So it must have been he must have known that we earned the win. Let's put it that way.
There wasn't any doubt about it. It wasn't a 15-point nail biter.
Yeah. Exactly. But another quad 1 win. I mean, hey, you got to give Brownell his props, man. He's got these guys, playing like you. I mean, I guess that's the thing. I don't think anybody expected us to be where we are right now. 4 wins in the ACC. I mean, hey, so, and let me change that. 4 wins to begin ACC play. All right. 4 wins in the ACC, that, it's not saying too much, but, again, trending upwards, looking a lot better than most people expected, I believe. Of course, we haven't played the the teams that everybody knows about in the ACC yet.
No,
But
and I want to say a couple weeks ago, I said, just looking at the schedule, if we could get to 3-1 after these first four, three on the road plus SMU, who's pretty doggone good at home, that would be a great spot to be in. And we're sitting here 4-0 now.
yeah,
I mean that's pretty good.
yep,
And honestly, Freddie, I'm looking at the schedule. Uh, got BC Tuesday night. Should be, I say
yeah,
should. You never
yep.
know.
Oh
It
yeah,
should be another win at home, and then you got Miami and NC State. Both of those are quality opponents. So, what Miami's probably going to be quad one at home.
yep.
Um, NC State maybe quad one, quad two
That's
at
right.
home, if nothing else.
Hmm.
Um, you get past those, and then we kind of hit another little lull in the schedule. We
Yep.
make it through January. What I looked at, there were 9 games.
I'm telling you, man.
Very easily be, I mean, shoot, could be 9-0.
Yeah,
But you get to the end of January, 8-1, 7-2. That's a pretty good start for Clemson
yeah,
basketball.
yeah. Look, people are. I'm guaranteed. I'm thinking to myself. I know people are looking at the ACC standings, going, "Wait a minute, oh, huh? What? Wait a minute,
That's got
what?"
to be a misprint, a
Yeah,
typo.
yeah. They did these things backwards. No, Duke's there too. There's no,
Yep.
no, no. Yeah. So, and I also saw earlier where the baseball team will start out in the top 25 this year. So, um, he still seems to be rolling right along with that too. So, just got to give it that hump. You know,
Yeah.
get to that next step. That's the whole key there.
Yeah.
Um,
Bakich is what we've hosted regionals the first 3 years, made one supers.
that's right.
And I think he's uh, just from what I've seen recruiting wise, he's starting to build a level of talent that
That's right.
can possibly push us beyond. We know he's a good coach.
Oh yeah.
Anybody
Oh yeah.
that takes Michigan to a national championship
Yeah.
series,
Yeah.
they know how to coach. Um,
Exactly.
we
Exactly right.
got to make sure
Well,
he's got the resources he needs.
and from what I can tell, this round he has really gone after some pitching,
Yeah.
which will really help him out in the long run. Also, that's one of the things that's been lacking at Clemson. You know what I'm saying? I thought we were going to have some great pitching last year, and then we had injuries that
Yeah.
derailed us. But um, I'm looking forward to that too. I think about this right now. We are in the midst of being able to enjoy basketball season. All right.
Hmm.
And don't forget that Poppy's got the girls playing well too, man. They lost today to Georgia Tech, but it
Yeah.
was a close game. Played well from what I could gather, they played well. But you got that going on. You got basketball team that's on a roll right now. You got
Hmm.
baseball coming up, and all of us right now are ready for football season to start. I mean, it's it's a great time to be a Tiger, man.
It
Um,
sure is. It sure
so,
is.
but
I hope
uh,
things will play out well for those teams this spring.
yeah,
Baseball, softball, of
yeah,
course, our basketball teams. I hope ends up being a good finish to those winter seasons.
yeah. Um, we like I said earlier, we hadn't heard from Craig, hoping that I know he was telling us last weekend he had COVID, and hadn't really heard much from him this week. I'm hoping and praying that he's doing a little bit better. If y'all will
Yeah.
shoot a prayer out there for him. Also, one of our local Tiger fans, Muff
Yeah.
McFadden, passed away this past week, and that one really caught a bunch of us by off guard. But if you will say a prayer for her family, they laid her to rest on Thursday, and so it it's it's rough whenever when you lose a good friend like that, and especially whenever you lose somebody that you also know her as a Tiger. And I was telling somebody the other day, I said, it's amazing. I saw her on the 27th, and I was telling her then, Muff, you ain't got to worry about it. Riley's gone, and she kept telling me, I don't think they'll get rid of him, Freddie. I really. One thing about Muff, if you ask her what she thought, you better be ready for what you're gonna get the answer for because she's gonna tell you what she thought.
Yeah.
Okay, whether you wanted it or really or not.
Yeah, like it or not. Yeah.
But I told her, I said, it's amazing to me. She left this earth before I could tell her, I told you so, you know, but, yeah, if you will say a prayer for her, um,
Definitely.
it's a tough time, but, as of right now, we get to sit back and watch what's left of the portal, watch some more good basketball this coming
Yep.
week,
How many
and,
more portal days do we have, Freddie? Do you know?
goes through the 14th. We got
14.
3
All
more
right.
days, right? Am I
Yeah.
right? I think it's 3 more days.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So look, I'm like you. I don't think we're done. Um, it's just gonna be it's gonna be a question, or the question to me is when or how will we get over that hump? Because like I told you
Mhm.
earlier, um, Dabo has gone after linemen in the portal for several years now and
Yeah.
hadn't been able to bring one in yet. He hadn't been a real a lineman in yet. Um, what are your thoughts? Any ideas on why do you think he hadn't been able to get a lineman in there?
Well, I'm like you. It's kind of um, uh, I don't have a good obvious explanation. The only thing that comes to my mind is you don't know what kind of money these guys are being offered uh, through the portal, through NIL and revenue sharing. I don't know if it's just a situation where we're allocating money to other places and don't really go to that degree to go after a kid in the portal, offensive lineman in the portal,
Hmm.
and we just say, hey, this is what we've got to offer, and then they can go to other places and find more money. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
got anything to do with it. I'm not uh, tied in enough on the inside to really know the behind the scenes stuff with that, but that's that's about the only guess I can get because Matt
Yeah.
Luke he's an excellent recruiter.
Hmm.
He's well respected as an offensive line coach and a developer. So if these kids are looking for that,
Yeah.
we got it.
Yeah.
Luke is it, but uh,
He can get you to
that's
that next
obviously not
level.
what they're looking for.
Yeah. But I mean, he's proven that he can get you to the league.
Mm-hmm.
Um, here and at Georgia. So,
Yeah,
um, you know, uh, I feels like to me that's probably what it is.
yeah.
And a couple of other buddies that I've got have said similar that they feel like that it's just that we don't have the money by the time we get to that position.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or I don't want to say by the time we get to that position, I just don't think we're leaving enough money there. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. That does. And
Paul, we appreciate you too, man. We appreciate you chiming in, and we appreciate you, watching us every Sunday. So,
yeah, definitely, Paul.
but it's but we have gotten to 7:40, which is about 10 minutes. Well, actually, about 5 minutes over because we didn't get
Yeah,
started until 7:05. So, another great show, man. Um,
enjoyed it.
hopefully next week we'll have the the third part of our Three Stooges back, and because he look here, we each have our own abilities, kind of like the running back group right now.
Oh yeah,
And I don't think any of us are speedsters, but we do have our own skill sets. And Craig is wonderful with stats, man. He loves stats, and I like them, but I'm not to the extent that
yeah.
Craig likes them or Craig loves them. So,
Yeah, we miss him here, and hope that he gets to feeling better, get over the illness that's come
yeah.
through.
Yeah. But anyway, until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, remember, go Tigers.
Go Tigers!